Hello everyone! In this reflection video I have some suggestions for you to look at your work again and see if there is anything to make it more useful for you. I will go over the things that I've seen most often in the almost 20 years that I work with people, ranging from students to professional athletes to managers and CEOs, on this analytical approach. This week we worked on the topics of complexity in both leadership itself and in the situations we are facing in our lives every day. We also worked on creating rich pictures of these complex situations using the perspectives of stakeholders who are involved in those situations. And we tried to formulate in a short sentence, using a dilemma, the essence of the perspective these stakeholders have on that situation. The first pitfall I notice is a quite obvious one, namely that people tend to think that only very difficult situations are complex in nature. So only very difficult situations can benefit from an analytical approach. Well, to the contrary, difficulty and complexity are not synonyms. Difficult and easy are two extremes on one continuum and say something about the level of expertise you need to have, the amount of effort you should put in, or the amount of time it might take to change such situations. Easy situations are more easy to deal with, basically. But the continuum difficult-easy does not say anything about whether in such a situation there is something like the real picture of that situation or the best way to change it. That is another indication, either non-complex if such pictures or best ways exist, or complex if they don't. As soon as a situation does not have a possibility to determine what the true picture of the situation is or the best way to change it or what the best solution is to solve the problem, then the situation is complex and then the analytical mindset comes in very handy. So you can have very simple situations that are complex anyhow. For instance, where do you go for summer holidays with your family? No best answer here, but you end up making a decision every year, don't you? The second pitfall I see often is that people use the perspectives of other stakeholders but choose only a very limited number of them, like one or two, or they use stakeholders that all think very alike, then mostly stakeholders that either support or oppose the ideas you have yourself about the complex situation. Both ways don't help you a lot, because in both cases your picture of the situation hardly enriches. A third pitfall I see often is that people from the moment they face a complex situation have a picture in their mind about that situation and that they have an idea what they want to change in it. And this is the central key point of this part of the course. People tend to stick to their initial ideas. Whether these are ideas about what the situation really looks like, or whether these are ideas about how the situation should be changed. This focus on both picture and the change itself is almost hardwired in our brains. Very difficult to overcome, but it is the central part of the analytical mindset and methods to make both the ideas of the situation and of the change very explicit and test them very elaborately. These tests include the comparison to other ideas and help in the end to make a better decision and to be a more fruitful and better leader. I will focus many times during this course on the issue of thinking in terms of solutions, for instance, which is an example of what I just said. And I will force you many times also to put your ideas to the test. Okay, these are the three most common pitfalls for the course this week. I will help you every week to critically review your work so you can make it much more practical and much more useful for you. Good luck with it, and I see you in the next video.